Hello, everyone. I am going to start off doing a review of the syllabi, and then after my review of the syllabi, I will go ahead and do a review of Blackboard, and then a review of the course schedule. And of course, I have to upload Chapter 1 and Chapter 2 audio lecture for the course. So let's start with the syllabi. Okay, the course title basically is Social Work 602, Diversity, Social Justice, and Cultural Competence in Social Work Practice. Of course, you see that I have my instructor's email and name in the line to include my area code and telephone number. The area code basically is area code 843 instead of 8430. And the office phone number is 843-745-1100. And I'm located at 4500 Leeds Avenue in Charleston, South Carolina. Of course, when you get some time, I want you to definitely read the course description. It's going to provide you with a detail of the course to let you know exactly what you can expect from the course. Of course, the textbooks is located right here in the syllabi. The major textbook we're going to be using for this particular course is going to be textbook A. So the majority of the work is going to come from textbook A. Of course, textbook B, you're going to have some discussion questions that probably relate to that. You also have a series of articles, which I've already provided in Blackboard for you. I recommend that you copy it and save it and put it in a file to help you with future research or to help you with future papers that you may be dealing with in other classes. Okay, this is an online course, so we don't have to worry about live attendance. However, I will be doing some lecture videos to kind of keep you informed on what to expect in regards to the upcoming course assignments and what have you. Of course, you definitely need to read this particular paragraph that talks about CDC guidelines, basically, and that's mainly for students who are actually on main campus, in which they are required to have a clear test to ensure that they do not have the virus. Okay, use of technology is pretty important. You must be able to have a computer with a video camera. In addition to that, with speakers, so that you can actually have the material you need for the course. I do not recommend that you try to do this course from your telephone, from your smartphone, because you will not be able to capture all the information that I provide. You'll find in this course, it's a lot of information that I provide to you that will help you along with your assignments, to include rubrics, to include the competencies, the core competencies, all of those of which you must know in this particular course. You definitely want to read the learning outcomes. I've already listed it in the syllabus for you according to CSWE. In this master's program, it's important that students are able to link the competencies with the assignment, because when you get in field, you're going to have to do a learning contract that's going to help you with your learning contract to actually look at the competencies and talk about what behavior you're going to be exhibiting, to include what learning outcome that you're going to be adjusting in your agency. Well, we know this is a time now where, most agencies are not open to students, but you may have an agency that allows clients to be viewed virtually. So it's a lot of changes that's coming up with field because of where we are in this date and time. So it's important that you have a clear understanding of what's expected of you, and to basically know how the competency aligns itself with the assignments that you're going to be doing in the course. In the BSW program, we used to say, read your competencies in the syllabus. Well, in the master's course, you must know your competencies. You must know how your competencies align itself with the assignment. So there are 9 competencies, and you'll see in this syllabi, I gave you the competencies. I also give you the behavior. I also give you the course learning outcome to include the assignments that you're going to be doing that's going to be associated with the particular competencies. And you'll see that outlined further in the syllabus. I recommend as you listen to this audio, you may want to write down any questions that you may have, that you may want to talk to me about that will help you process through this course. The importance, just know that the importance is that you are able to apply critical thinking and not expect me to say you need to provide a discussion along the lines of 3 paragraphs, 4 paragraphs, or what have you. You must apply all that you've learned and your understanding of this particular course that will help you have an understanding of it, how it aligns itself with the competencies and how the competencies aligns itself with the assignments. The grading criteria is also listed there so you can see it. Also in the syllabus, you'll see that I have the assignments basically, and you have 4 assignments to include your discussion. Well, not including your discussion and reflection. So assignment 1 basically is knowing yourself, and that's more like a reflection of you. Okay, understanding how your diversity falls into play with self. Okay, and then you have to do a knowing oneself also in a self-assessment. So you have 2 basically assignments you have to do. One is a reflection of what you think your cultural makeup is. And the second basically is you assessing your cultural makeup and making a determination on what you need to improve on or what have you. But we'll get more detail into the assignments a little later on in the course. But just know that I've outlined this particular for you so you can have a clear understanding. Assignment 3 basically is knowing others in the issue of intercultural competence. So that's like a training and a team assessment, which I will be putting you into groups, and you'll be getting an understanding of how you see each other within the group. So just know that this is an important assignment. That assignment in itself is 35 points. So as I put you into groups, it's going to be imperative that you work together to complete this assignment so that you can have an understanding. So you're going to see that this is the largest assignment that you're going to have within the 4 assignments that you're going to have. So just be mindful and read the outline for this particular assignment in detail so you can have a clear understanding. Of course, just know throughout this course, I will always be available to you. My recommendation to you is that you call me on my cell instead of emailing me into your course room. And the reason I say that, because most of the time students send me an email and they figure I have the whole outline of what they're talking about, so they may ask a specific question. Like I have students ask me, well, I don't understand chapter 4. Well, I would have to email back, what specifically in chapter 4 you don't understand. So I'm recommending that you take the time and call me on my cell. My number is area code 843-345-2224. And just leave me a detailed message if I don't answer. But if I answer, of course, we can have our discussion. It doesn't matter what particular time you call. I'm making my cell, my personal cell, available to you. I want you to feel that I am available to you, even though this is an online course. So don't hesitate to call me if you have questions. regarding any of the assignments or regarding any difficulty you may be experiencing as you go through this process. Okay, you see that assignment 4 is moving onward. Basically, it's a critical review of a work plan, And so when you get into the the assignment outline, you will have a clear understanding of what is expected of you. And I also went in there and basically gave you some examples of what that particular assignment should look like. Notice I told you that I have an example of what the assignment should look like. So I'm not asking you to tailor your particular assignment to the outline that I provide you. In other words, I want you to be utilizing critical thinking and provide information that's going to be more understanding of your understanding of the assignment. So I'm looking for you to apply critical thinking in this process and not just emulate what I provided in the sample. Okay, so I kind of explained outlines of each one of the assignment. Here again, you see I'm breaking the assignment down individually that you can have a clear understanding. And so the main aim of the assignment basically is to enhance your understanding of self, which is also competency 1 in the CSWC core competency. And so you're going to be looking at self. You're going to be looking at who you are. I always tell students in the social work profession that before you can work with people or clients, you must have an understanding of who you are and what your belief systems are and what your values are. Because if you don't, you may find that you may be doing some counter-transference. You may be vocalizing your values onto the client. So if you have an understanding of self, then that means that you understand your belief system, your value systems, and how you need to set that aside in working with the client. So I gave you 3 points of what this particular assignment is going to do. And so this is not a difficult assignment. It's getting you to look at you, who you are, and what your value system is, and how you feel about oppression, power, and privilege. So just have a deeper understanding of that. Now, remember, I told you before, when we get into Blackboard, you'll see the course assignment, you'll see the sample, you'll see the rubrics. So all of that's going to be provided to you if you haven't looked at it already. Assignment 2 basically is knowing oneself, which is a self-assessment. And so the main aim basically is to encourage you to reflect on how your diversity and life experience have influenced various dimensions of your professional development. So in other words, how have you matured from going through the BSW program, entering into the master's program, and your viewpoints of how you see things in regards to cultural diversity. So take some time and read that. Assignment 3 is the one I told you, which is 35% of your grade. Basically is knowing others and issues, basically intercultural confidence training and team assessment. Okay, the main aim basically of this assignment is to address the learning goals you set for yourself in assignment 1. Specifically, the assignment asks you to work in an intersectional team to develop and provide professional development training about existing oppression and social justice issues that's related to professional interests. So the purpose is to work together to enhance your ability to collaborate and work professionally with those who have different cultural identities, experience, and perspectives from yourself. The issue basically is for you to choose this assignment, which will make use of assignment 3, The assignment relates to objective 4 and 5, which is located in your syllabus, and then it's the student learning outcome 3A and 3B. So I kind of tailored what the assignment is about for you in the syllabus. Again, you'll see more when you get into Blackboard as we actually look at when these assignments are due. Assignment 4 basically is a critical review and work plan. And I have examples of all of that for you. So I don't want you to think that you have to figure out how to create these things because when we get into Blackboard, it's going to be more detailed for you. There are going to be links that provide you to the sample. It's going to provide you to the competencies that's going to be associated with these assignments. So there's a lot that's going to be provided to you. So let's look at assignment 4. Okay, this assignment is supposed to provide space for you to reflect critically on the experience in the class during this term. So what have you learned? What was difficult? How have you adjusted from some of the assignments in there? So I'm asking you to reflect basically on your critical experiences. Okay, so basically it tells you that to revisit assignment 1 and 2 to assess your growth. So based on what I thought about in 1 and 2, now that I'm in assignment 4, okay, what are my thinkings? Did any of it change? Is any of it different? Have I grown from my thought process in assignment 1 and 2? Of course, assignment 5 basically talks about reflection, active and proactive learning. And basically that has a lot to do with you also participating online in the discussions with one another. Most of the times when students do a response, they'll respond to 2 learners. And that would be all. I'm here to tell you in the master's program, I want you to really be thinking about peer-reviewed journals and responding versus your learning of what you got out of the textbook so that you can support your response to your learners. I'm not looking for a 2-line paragraph or a 3-line paragraph. I want to know that you have an understanding of the question that was asked of you, and based on your article or your review, this is why you believe this, and this is what you learned. And so when you're responding to your peers, I want you to also look at that and say, according to so-and-so in regards to this, it discusses something else. In other words, I want you to help your peers with articles to enlighten their learning experience, which is different from what we were doing in the BSW program. So I'm looking for you to be more demanding as far as your response to your peers, your response. I've read discussion posts from some students, and some of them are basically a page long. And that gives me understanding that they really understand what the question is about, and they're reflecting on information in the textbook or article that helps them to have an understanding of what the question was all about. Then I get some students give me a 2-liner or a 1-liner. I'll get a student tell me, I agree with what you said. It was something that I didn't know. I'm not looking for you to give me your assumptions. I want you to support your assumptions or beliefs concerning the questions that ask of you. And I want you to address each of the questions and not one. So in this master's program, we're going to look at more responses from you in regards to your understanding of the course material. And I'm also going to be responding back to you in your discussions, and I'm going to be addressing our articles that may be discussing what the topic was about. So I'm hoping that my response will also enlighten you to look at our articles or add our articles to your toolbox that will help you later on as we continue this process. So remember, this is the start of a new master's program for the university. And so, as we go through this credentialing process, the work that you're doing in this course is going to be highly looked at and evaluated to see if you have an understanding of journalist practice. So, in other words, a lot of the work that you put in this course is going to have a lot to do with your understanding of the subject matter or the course topic, the course description. So just know that CSWE is going to be looking at the work that you put in, and the data that we collect from this course is also going to be supporting the credentialing process. So here, this is should be a productive learning process for you. I'm excited. I'm so excited about this, and I really think that the group of students that we selected to enter into this master's program are going to be beneficial to the accreditation of the school and the profession. So when we think about the critical reflections, I'm just giving you an outline of what it's about, and you'll see I gave you some criteria to look at, basically on where you think you are. Student shows openness and respects the difference of worldview and to differences. So in other words, that's you being able to agree or disagree with your peers. That's being able to you to look at things different, opening your mind to other ways of looking at things. So when I look at this assignment, I'm going to be looking for certain things from you. Student display awareness and unexpected emotions, reactions when addressing discussion difficult topics. I know sometimes when I ask students about abortion and their value system is on the opposite side of that, they tend to either not respond or shy away from it. I mean, it's okay for us to have a different opinion, but we also must be open to other people's belief systems. So you may not have to agree with your peers or agree with me, but you can agree to disagree. So basically, I've laid out a criteria for the awareness response. Okay, when we look at active and proactive learning, students demonstrate that he or she they have completed the course reading and be prepared for class. So in other words, that's you have an understanding of what's expected of you going through this course. Student communicate with the instructor about the course. Again, in the beginning of this, I left a note for you to basically call me if you have any questions. I prefer you call me. I'm not saying you don't have to email me. It's just that if you email me, we may have to go through a series of emails before I really understand what you're asking. So, I'm preferring it. I'd rather you just call me. And we can have a discussion about what you're asking, and I can ask questions to get a better understanding of what you're asking. Students demonstrate attending and active listening, in the classroom. So because this is an online class, so I'm looking at your attendance in the discussion process. I'm looking at how you respond to your peers' comment. So that's what I'm going to be looking at when I look at this particular topic. When we talk about meaningful online participation, that's you participating in the online process. I know we say that you can respond to two learners. Some students don't even do that. So I'm here to tell you, if you fail to comply with the assignment and what's asked of you, you may find that your grades may be lower than what was expected of you in the BSW program. So in other words, your percentage may be lower because the demand for the master's program is going to be greater along with the expectations of you. So I expect you to respond to two of your learners. I expect you to have a detailed discussion about the topic with your learner. And I will be engaged with you also in the discussion process and to some of your learners' response. So I just want you to be aware that we're going to have an active engagement process in the discussions as we go through this course. Okay, so I basically covered the first part of the syllabus. So I'm going to end this basically video discussion for the syllabus and then pick up with a second video that's going to help you have a better understanding of the weekly core schedule. So let me close this section regarding the syllabi, and then I'll start another video with the weekly core schedule, and I'll go through that process. And after I get through with that process, then I'll do another video that looks at Blackboard and what's in Blackboard, where things are. So I just want you to have a clear understanding of the syllabi in this particular recording.